So one of the things that I hope I can do now that I'm in my 50s and I've hit middle age, again, that's I love when people say middle age because that means you're going to live to 100. And I don't know if that's in my future. So we'll call it I'm on the other side of the hill. I'm over the hill, right? That's why they say that, right? And I thought one of the things I would like to do is maybe impart a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of the things that I have learned being on this planet for 50 plus years. And one of the things that all of my friends and everybody who knows me comment about is number one, how much stuff I get done. Like I am always doing something, 10 different projects on the go, and I've always got something going on. And I do get a lot done. And number two, the joke about me is how much I love spreadsheets, but moreover, just like how incredibly organized I am. Um, and maybe that sounds like a bit of a brag. Got my coffee here. It's just afternoon and need a cup of coffee today. Didn't sleep so well last night. Um, I passed my exam, my final practical exam, a couple days ago, and big thanks to my buddy Keith for helping me out, being my volunteer in the practical exam. And basically, my the trainer that's been taking me through the program, she was on Skype, and I had to take Keith through an hour workout, and she's like grading me on, am I saying the right things? Am I cueing the right movements? Hey, if his legs are bowing outwards on this, what would you do to fix it? That sort of stuff, right? So, and I slept great the night before the exam, and to be honest, since the exam, I've just felt pretty overwhelmed. And I think one of the things I feel overwhelmed about is the fact that now that I'm a certified fitness training specialist, I have to do something with that, right? Like I got to go out and get a job. That's getting a job isn't scary, but I'm hoping there is one out there for me, and I'm going to start looking very shortly. Um, but I get a lot done. I mean, during the time that I was studying for this exam and preparing, I also put out an album on the streaming service. I finished the second album with my buddy Keith. We do electronic music together. Just all the regular like activities of daily life that you have to accomplish, right? So every day I try and play guitar. I try and read a little bit. I have household chores to do. I exercise every single day. All of that sort of stuff, right? So how do I accomplish that? A couple things. So the joke about me is how I had said how in love I am with spreadsheets, and it's true. I mean, I have loved since I can remember. As soon as somebody showed me a spreadsheet, and I was like, oh, it's like graph paper, only better. Everything's all in little squares and compartments, and you can organize them. And that's very much my personality. So I mean, I have spreadsheets for everything. I have spreadsheets for our budget, so I handle the household budget. And I built this spreadsheet out, so it basically calculates everything, tallies up all our monthly bills, calculates credit card bills, all that sort of stuff. As I mentioned, I'm a musician, so I actually have spreadsheets for all my music. So I have spreadsheets for like all of my songs that I do. Like, say I use a drum machine or something to practice to, I've got all the settings for the drum machine in the spreadsheet. I have like different electronic music gear and certain settings that need to be kept. So I keep a spreadsheet that has all the settings. Like for my sampler, I have a spreadsheet for what all of the banks, every sample that's in every bank, so I know where to look. I've got this is my spreadsheet here for my working out for like my workouts every week, and that goes through the whole month, and I've got different workouts all planned out. But the big thing, the big piece that keeps me really locked in is the calendar. And I used to have a spreadsheet that I made, of course, right? Like a weekly calendar spreadsheet. And right now I do have an annual calendar where I kind of keep like just an overview, a bird's eye view of the entire year, like any special dates I need to remember, or like if we're taking a trip or something, then there like a trip would be on there, or like the date of my practical exam, all that sort of stuff, so I can plan a little bit better. Um, but I used to keep a calendar because there was no such thing as Google Calendar, right? But now I live and die by my Google Calendar. It is everything to me. And when I say everything, the calendar is like a calendar, right? But basically, it's my to-do list. So anything I need to get done, I put it onto the Google Calendar. And as you can see, this is my Google Calendar from last week when I was studying and trying to get all this stuff ready for my exam. And there's everything's color coded, so like tasks are in yellow, and the dog training appointments with my clients are in like a sort of this off blue color, violet, I believe they call it, and then unbooked appointments are in a different blue, so I can quickly look and see what appointments I have open. Um, any stuff I do with my business is in green. Anything I do with taking care of the dogs is in purple. Any sports, so working out, skateboarding, anything like that, is always in orange. So it's very easy for me to look at the calendar right away. If something's red, that means it's like important. Like I've got to make sure, I've got to remember this thing. And so my calendar acts like a schedule, right? So, and a to-do list together, because if I have to do something, I have to find a time to do it. So I create an event, and over the years, I've gotten incredibly good, I would say, at calculating how much time something takes. Like I'm really good at that. And one of the secrets that, like a tip that I'll give people if you're trying to do something like this, the secret is to over plan. So if I think something takes 15 minutes, I give it 30 minutes. If I think it's going to take me 45 minutes, I give it an hour, that sort of thing. And then what ends up happening is all the stuff that takes a few minutes longer and things don't quite go as planned, they end up kind of going to the overextended plan. And if they don't, if everything just sort of happens on time, like yesterday, I had to go and do a few errands, and I gave myself 30 minutes to go to each place, and it only took me like 45 minutes in total, and I had almost 2 hours set aside. So that gave me an extra hour back in the day, right? And I kind of knew it wasn't going to take that long, but then that's where I make up all of the other time. I even leave like a 30-minute gap at around 12:30 that there's just a blank space, and that's when I'm going to eat lunch. I don't actually put lunch in there. Um, but yeah, that's how I stay so organized, and that's how I accomplish a lot. I schedule all my workouts for the week. I schedule time in the evening to read, so I'll put an hour block aside that says reading. Um, I schedule in 30 minutes a day for guitar. And then what happens is once I make a template, so here's what a week ahead sort of looks like. This is like the template for the week ahead. And you can see it's nowhere near as crazy and hectic and detailed, but that's because it hasn't happened yet. And then what happens is as the week comes to fruition, I start to put little things. Oh, I got to remember that. And it's like a game of Tetris to me, right? That will fit in on Thursday in the afternoon. I put it in there. And then what happens is maybe I get a day where I'm ahead of the curve, and I'll go, oh, I'll take this. I'll get this done too. Something I had later in the week, I'll get that done too. Or maybe I fall behind that day, which definitely happens. And then I move the event, like the task, to the next day, and I find a spot. But if it goes on the calendar, I can honestly tell you this. If it goes on my calendar, it always gets done. It always gets done. Whether it happens that day or I've got to move it to the following day to squeeze it in, but it always gets done. So when people are like, man, like you say you're going to do something, you do it. Yeah. What I've found is if it goes on the calendar and then I take it off the calendar, it's almost an invitation to take more things off the calendar. Like if I didn't get that done, then I won't get like, hey, maybe is this other thing is important. So everything that goes on that calendar is like as important can be to me. And I make sure that I get it done all the time. But yeah, that's how I stay so organized. I keep spreadsheets also in my phone. I keep little notes, right? So I'm sure a lot of us do this. Got to remember this. I make little task lists sometimes on my phone, and then I'll transfer them often to my calendar. But that's how I stay so on point. That's how I'm able to book my clients and stay on point with all my dog training appointments. That's how I'm able to get so much done in a day. And that's how, when I say I play guitar 30 minutes a day, I schedule it. It's not always at the same time every day, but I schedule it. I put a 30-minute block to play guitar, and then I may have to move that block later in the day, or maybe I move it up a little bit. I have some free time in the morning and I go, actually, I'll play guitar now. So I'm a little like I can be flexible in that way where I go, you know what, I don't want to do this later in the day. I want to do this today. Or like this morning, I was going to clean the house this afternoon, and then this morning I thought, you know what, I'd like to just relax this afternoon. So let's move that block to the morning, like Tetris, and then we'll shift guitar playing and a few things I was going to do in the morning. We'll shift that to the afternoon when I can relax. But yeah, that's the secret. Use a calendar and treat the calendar as your to-do list. And once something goes on the to-do list, get it done. That's the real secret. If I had to give you one piece out of this whole thing, that's the secret. Once you say you're going to do something, do it, because if you don't, you can't trust yourself anymore. When you say you'll do something, you'll be like, yeah, but will I really do it? And when I say I'm going to do something, I know I will do it because I always do. I always follow through. Um, I will say this, I'm never bored. Never, ever, ever am I bored. There's always something to do. And if there's a free moment, I use it like now to enjoy a cup of coffee and talk to a cell phone, making a video. And then I'm going to finish my cup of coffee, editing this and posting it, and then I'll be on to the next task. And yes, I gave myself an hour to do this video because I knew it was going to be a bit more in depth, putting the spreadsheets up and stuff like that. So I gave myself a little extra time, and it will get done, and then I'll be on to the next thing. All right. Maybe this has helped you. Maybe you just think, damn, that's a good cup of coffee. Maybe you just think I'm insane. Maybe you're thinking to yourself, I wouldn't want to live that way. And to be honest, I bet most people wouldn't want to live this way. I will tell you this. I think this is a personality thing. I think you have to be wired this way to live this way, because not living this way, I actually find incredibly stressful. I find it very anxiety inducing. If I don't have a full calendar, I start to think, what am I going to do with my day? But the fact that I get up in the morning and my day is all laid out for me, that feels great to me. That actually reduces stress and anxiety for me because I know what I need to get done and I just get to it. All right. Yeah, like I said, maybe, some of the things that I've learned over the last 50 years, I should try and impart in some of these videos, and maybe it'll help you. Or maybe you just think I'm some weird middle-aged dude that is way too anal, and that would probably also be a very correct assessment. See you later.